Friends, greetings, salutations, what's up? Let's talk about Metx, Meten Holding Group here. What is going on with this stock? So obviously this has been on my radar for quite a while. You know, I'm quite the fan of penny stocks, and you know, I love penny stocks for the simple fact of you can usually make quite a little bit of money on them if you watch them correctly and kind of trade in and out of them and don't get too greedy. And this is simply another penny stock. The chart on this one, though, is flippin' nuts. You want to talk about some Grand Canyon levels here? Look at this 6-month chart we see right now on this. So obviously right now, you know, just talking about the overall, the last 2 weeks in the market have just sucked. I mean, it's been terrible. It's not getting better, it just seems to keep getting worse here. And this being Thanksgiving week, it's already going to be a hard enough week with, you know, obviously Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, and the market will be closed. Friday will only be, you know, not even really half a day. So we're a little short on time right now with what we can get done here in the market this week. But obviously if I'm talking about this company, I see something that could potentially happen here. So when I look at this company, you know, this is just another company that I look at and I go, they're trying. They are really trying. It's a very new company. It's very new to the market. And you know what? If you've been on the stock market for any time, you know, you see this process take, like it happens all the time where you have a company come to the market. They become something where everyone can invest in them. They have an IPO, blah, blah, blah. People invest in them. They sell off. It starts off like at a $5 to $9 stock price. Then it drops all the way down to this penny stock. And, you know, then we're left with what's going to happen here. And then, you know, the talks of a reverse split, the talks of having to meet the quota of meeting $1 within a 10-day consecutive period. You know, that whole thing. And, you know, we're kind of, this one is not there yet. This one's still got a lot of time. It's still got a lot of meat left on the bone here for something to potentially happen, obviously, but it's kind of drifting that way. And right now, obviously, there's a lot of people that are paying a lot of attention to this because when you have a penny stock that gets down to this low of a level, you know, when we get down to this 20-30 cent range, this is where a lot of people go, you know what? I like this. I like my odds in this. This is how I made a lot of my money off Global Star. I found Global Star very early on, digging into the company when everyone else was saying it's a terrible company, don't get involved with it. You know, I was going, you know what? Okay, I'll take my chance. And I kept buying Global Star at like a 20, 30, 40 cent range. And I just kept adding and adding stocks. Meanwhile, there's just a barrage of terrible news coming out, you know, all these analysts, people that write things about companies, these articles. So when I see penny stocks like this, I go, what do we know? What do we have to look at? And what do we know with at least the next 3 months of what this company needs to achieve and what they need to do? And obviously, what is the overall market doing? The overall market is really, we haven't seen much here, and especially the last 2 weeks have not been good. And it's kind of like, which way is this thing going to go to end up and wrap up the year here? So now that I'm done with my sales pitch, because, you know, I've had people ask me a lot of questions about this, and I'm drifting towards, you know, my answer with this, how I feel about it. I personally, at the moment, do not have money wrapped up in this, but do not get me wrong, I have been watching this company very closely. I have been watching this penny stock. One thing that excites me especially about this company is this partnership that we are seeing with AGM Group Holding for blockchain and cryptocurrency mining business. Now, obviously, if you know me, you know I'm all about some crypto. I think it's the future. I think you'd be crazy not to invest in it. And anytime I see a company doing something with crypto, I immediately go, okay, you have my attention. But we did recently see the quarterlies come out with this company, and you know, quarterlies were not great. They decreased a little bit from what we've seen, and honestly, they were giving the excuse of the pandemic had kind of put them in a setback. And I think every quarterly that I have read for the last 2 years now has said the same thing, as in the pandemic has really held them back. And yeah, it's easy. That's a good excuse, and that's a believable excuse. I don't know how much longer we'll be able to use that for a lot of companies, but you know, we're still seeing that. So looking at the volume here, let's go into, you know, the chart with the volume. You know, volume speaks a lot here when you have something like this. And obviously this being a penny stock, most penny stocks are going to trade at around 50 to 70 million just on a minimum, because it's a penny stock. Usually when people are buying penny stocks this cheap, they're usually buying 100 shares to 1,000 shares at a time, minimum, for just your common average consumer in the stock market. Now, when we look at this, obviously as of lately, we have not seen crazy volume. The volume really came about 2 weeks ago when the market was really on fire. And, look at these numbers we were seeing. Oh, man, look at that one right there. 995 million in volume right there. That is crazy. And then since then, it's kind of been tapering down quite a bit. And now, as following suit in the market, we've just seen this onslaught of, just everything is kind of just not really doing well here. Even the EV hype is kind of dying down right now, this week at least. So here's my thoughts on this, friend. So everybody's like, okay, what is this thing going to do? What do you think the price is going to be? I'm going to be completely honest with you, and you can throw some rocks at me, whatever you want to do here. I completely understand, but I personally think with the looks of how this week is going in the market, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not expecting really the tide to change this week in the market. We're not seeing anything unless some kind of miracle news comes out. Right now, if you turn on the news, everything is negative. Everything is negative. And when everything is negative in the news, everything is usually negative in the market. And I think this week, especially last week too, are just kind of these reset weeks. And when we have weeks start off like this and we're already into Tuesday, we're probably not going to see much more. I'm going to be completely honest. I would not be surprised, especially the way this one is moving right now, for this to fall down even more and maybe hit a 30 cent range. That would not be crazy. Now, do I believe that this company, this stock, can walk itself back up? Absolutely. I have a lot of faith in penny stocks. I really do. There's people every year, all the time, that become millionaires and score big off penny stocks. It's just, how obsessed are you with picking a penny stock? I tell people all the time, like, the one thing I see is people spread themselves way too thin on penny stocks, where they're like, I've got 50,000 shares in this penny stock, I've got 20,000 in this one, and I've got 40,000 in this one, 30,000. I'm like, if you can afford to do that, that's great, but you have to know too that penny stocks can be very dangerous, and obviously for good reason, with delisting, reverse splits. Now with that, there's a lot of things that have to happen, and you're going to catch whiffs and sense of something happening with a reverse split or a delisting, and we're not seeing that as of right now with this stock, obviously. So with this, friends, I'm very bullish on this, but with this week in the market, I'm not really expecting much. I think the rest of this week could be potentially a washout. I am kind of interested to see what Friday is going to do, and I say that because, Thursday the market's closed. Obviously, we have Thanksgiving, and then Friday is going to be like this one-hit wonder startup day, and then the market's going to be closed again for 2 more days. So Friday we could see the thunder come down on the stock market with some big volume and big heat, because your short sellers, your day traders, they're going to be out looking for some things to really push in the volume, get some numbers up, and get out of there and enjoy their weekend off. And when you're investing in penny stocks, we definitely welcome those short sellers. So friends, not to bore you anymore, it's 6 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, and I am drinking coffee, sitting here making videos. And listen, I wish everyone the best of luck with this one. Let me know if you want to keep talking about this one, if you want me to keep talking about this one. Like I said, I don't invest in this one yet. Now, if this were to fall apart even more to maybe a 20-cent zone, I would definitely consider it. And like these deals that we've been looking at here, like I put up on here, I'm curious to see what these are gonna morph into more here. Right now I've got a lot of my attention on FAMI. Obviously, if you follow my channel, I've already got that drama going on in my life, so I'm not really wanting to get involved in more drama with a penny stock. But I definitely like this one, and it's definitely something that I pay attention to every day. And it's got a lot of news, a lot of hype around it. So if you're in it, let me know. If you're not in it and you're thinking about it, still let me know. I'm curious to see how people feel about this one and where you see this one going personally. Like I said, this week, I don't think a lot's going to happen. But when the market comes back here, we could definitely see some big volume come back into this, guys. So friends, with all that said, remember, be positive, be you. Take time to invest in that future of yours. Friends, it's Thanksgiving week. Let's have a good week, what we have here in the market. Friends, I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.